What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000. We hope you guys will join us. And as always, guys, it's getting harder and harder for smaller YouTube creators, or even the larger ones, to even be found on YouTube. So if y'all enjoy our content, please hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it, so that you'll be able to find our content as soon as it is uploaded. Alright, so Black Lightning ending with season 4 on the CW. Now, I used to be a huge CW fan. I used to be a big Arrowverse fan. I remember when The Flash first came out. I never was big into Arrow. Lance, my co-host here, he's more of the Arrow fan than I am. I was always bigger into The Flash. And man, I got big into it. I got big into all the shows that come around. I even, I just thought that it was something original. It was something, I was like, man, finally, we've got a superhero show that, it's not a movie, but it's a show, DC related, that is actually really kind of entertaining. But unfortunately, that didn't last for very long. By the time, I guess it was season 2 of The Flash came along, it got really poor. The poor writing started to show. You started seeing that Legends of Tomorrow, that the writing just got worse and worse. And, of course, by the time Black Lightning come about, it started off strong. But like all these other CW shows, it really failed to deliver after the first season. I think probably the Arrow was probably the only Arrowverse show that really was, I guess, kept its core audience from beginning to end. But unfortunately, this is just the way of Arrowverse shows. They don't ever want to admit that something's broken. Where I personally lost interest in it was I felt like the crossovers just got way too much to bear. Like, I just thought, I can't keep up with all these different shows. I mean, there's some shows I just didn't want to follow. Some shows that I was behind in, and I just couldn't keep up with all of it. So I just kind of gave up on a lot of it. Now, of course you had Supergirl. That was oh man, that was another show I got into big in season 1, but geez, it just fell off the earth in season 2 and after that. Like, it was just terrible writing, terrible fight scenes. Just everything was so bad, and it just was, I would even say, compared to other Arrowverse shows, it was, to me, the worst. Now, of course, then you got Batwoman with all the social justice warrior bullcrap. It started off with that bad initial trailer where, well, the bat suit won't be perfect until it fits a woman, and all of that cringe-worthy stuff. Now, Batwoman, the actual show, is not really that bad, or at least I personally don't feel that it's that bad. Is it something that I probably am going to watch next season? Probably not. I will, I might watch it just to keep up to date with it. But as far as it being a show that I'm really excited to see, with each episode, no. Especially not since I've got rid of the the Batwoman, and then brought in this new girl. I'm tired of shows that are constantly trying to push an agenda. I just don't want no part of these shows anymore. But I feel like Black Lightning was one that didn't necessarily push agendas, but I felt like it's always, again, like any other show that has African Americans in it, it's always pushed by Twitter crowds, and it turns off regular fans that might normally be a part of it because they're just worried like, oh my goodness, what SJWBS are they going to put in this show? But to everyone's surprise, Black Lightning didn't go off that. Black Lightning was actually, it was a pretty decent show. It had a really good storyline to it. Like I said, it wasn't my favorite show. And I just, me personally, I just kind of like turned off all Arrowverse shows. But I was really kind of shocked to see this show being canceled for season 4. You have Batwoman on there. And I'm like, how does that show not get canceled? But yet, and because of the ratings, but yet Black Lightning gets canceled. And there's all this stuff that's going around now. And, I'm not gonna say I buy into it, but it is a little bit shady that I feel like Batwoman can stay on, but Black Lightning can't. And, you got all this stuff where they're saying, well, it's racism that has to do with it. I don't know. Me personally, I'm gonna fall on the fence on this one. Usually I'm not for kind of pushing something along those lines, but I'm gonna be kind of on the fence and say maybe this is a slight bit of racism. I feel like they're maybe choosing LGBTQ Batwoman over a show with African Americans in it. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's where their loyalty kind of lies with Batwoman. That's the agenda they're wanting to put in. Because Black Lightning, let's face it, Black Lightning was actually really a family-friendly show. Like, it was family-related kind of show. So, I feel like that's maybe something that CW just really isn't kind of pushing right now. And it's not necessarily that I'm saying that they got canceled because it had, the main characters were black. I'm just saying that it's the lifestyle, the family-friendly kind of lifestyle, family-oriented lifestyle. Maybe CW just isn't trying to push now. They're trying to push, these other kind of agendas that maybe take on a higher role. And look, Black Lightning's ratings were not good. They weren't good, but man, what show on CW can you actually point to and be like, that show's got great ratings? There's just nothing anymore. There's just nothing. But at the same time that this show gets canceled, it also there is in the works a spinoff with Painkiller from this very show. So I'm like, why did you cancel Black Lightning if you were intending on making a spinoff off of one of the characters like that? Like, I get that, you'll see like spinoffs of popular shows, but not a show that's just been canceled. Like this isn't a show that's ran its course. This is a show that is getting canceled. It makes no sense to make a spinoff off of a show that failed. If it was that interesting, it would have garnered support and been able to be on for 10 seasons. But no, it didn't. So why make a spinoff of one of the characters? That part blows my mind. I don't know what CW's thinking. But I haven't known what CW's thinking for a while when it comes to things. Like, it is just, when I say it's piss poor writing on the Arrowverse, it is piss poor writing. Like, it is just like, I remember watching Legends of Tomorrow and thinking to myself, wow, they only use the gay character and the African American to push racism or bigotry, and then they didn't really flesh out those two characters, in which were actually really interesting characters, but they refused to flesh them out because I guess they just wanted them there to just so, hey, look, we're fans of the, we're LGBTQ friendly and we're all about the black characters on the show, but we're not going to flesh them out at all. If you want to really point to racism and bigotry, maybe I would point maybe in that direction, because I felt like those characters maybe really could have been something big, but they weren't. You could even say that with Finn. You could say that with Finn on Star Wars. Finn was a really good character. The guy that played Finn, John Boyega, is a great actor. Great actor. What did they do? They used him as comic relief. Why? No idea. Even he called it out, and rightfully so called it out, because Disney on the posters for China put him in the background instead of as a main character like they did in the United States. So over here they were glorifying him being in there, but then overseas they're like, ignore that guy. Like, man, he just wasn't having it, and rightfully so he wasn't having it. So I mean, yeah, I kind of feel like, when they're talking any time about racism or bigotry in some of these shows, I think a lot of the racism and bigotry that you see is when they're trying to push stuff, but they're not really trying to flesh these characters out because they just need that specific character to be there, but they don't really want to make them into like the main character as someone that's interesting, that connects with fans or anything like that. So I'm like, that part personally for me kind of pisses me off, because I don't like watching any show where I just kind of feel like, okay, they're not going to do anything with this character. So once that character on that far, I'm a writer. I've got 2 published books to my name. And the one thing that they say with writing is, if there's a character and if that character doesn't play a main role in the main plot, cut that guy out. Cut him out. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's a great character. Cut it out. Because it's pointless to have those characters there. It's pointless storylines that go nowheres that fans will just not be interested in. Well, you could say the same thing for a lot of these shows. I felt like with the CW that there was a lot of side characters that were just that they really needed to cut the fat off of. And I'm not just talking about with Black Lightning. Black Lightning actually has some really good main cast and even good side characters. I'm more talking about like the Arrow, Flash, and those and Legends of Tomorrow. Those has some really, I don't know, semi main characters, semi side characters that really should have just been cut off the show, because they proved they lent nothing to the show, but yet they kept them on. It's not necessarily that they were trying to push any kind of identity politics or anything like that with keeping them on. It's just because a lot of the show, a lot of those characters really didn't fit into any of those kind of roles like that. But I'll tell you one person that I felt like they should have cut off was like Cisco off of The Flash. Now, he was there for comedy relief, but his role just kept getting less and less and less. And they tried to make him into like this superhero, but then that didn't work out because everybody now is, some kind of a speedster now. So his kind of superhero abilities was kind of lame. But overall, I just, getting off topic, but I'm kind of sad that Black Lightning is ending. I don't know why I'm so sad that it's ending. Maybe it's because I had hope for all Arrowverse shows. I'm not rooting against the Arrowverse. I'm a huge DC fan. I feel like if they can get any of these shows to work on the Arrowverse, I'm all for it. But I just feel like poor writing has always plagued these shows, and it will in the future, and I don't see that changing. It just seems like now, I know I preach on it all the time. Anybody that watches the video, I don't like where identity politics, and I'm not talking about Black Lightning, I'm talking more on The Flash on this one, taking more of a role than actual storytelling. And I feel like that's the fault of the writers more than it is the cast and characters that are playing in there. I feel like they could really flesh out a lot of these characters and make a lot of these characters really something enduring that fans would be excited to see either in that show or in spin-offs. But I just feel like the CW is just not into that. I feel like they're just into trying to make that quick buck. Trying to maybe get a show to last for about 3 or 4 seasons and then replace it with another one. And that's not a good business model. And I feel like the CW is really plagued with that right now. But anyways, guys, let me know what y'all think. Let me know if y'all are excited or disappointed with Black Lightning ending. For me, it's kind of a somber thing. I wasn't a huge fan of Black Lightning, but I will admit it was, to me at least, it was probably one of the more, I won't say it's one of the better shows off of Arrowverse. I'll say it was one of the most consistent shows off of the Arrowverse. I felt like, you get shows like Legends of Tomorrow and Flash and those kind of shows. I just like, season 1 was great. Season 2 was garbage. Like, and those shows never recovered, ever recovered. Supergirl was another one. Supergirl was great first season. Supergirl sucked from that point on. So yeah, I just kind of feel like CW is dropping the ball. I feel like the Arrowverse is dropping the ball. I feel like now it's just up to DC when it comes to movies to somehow catch up with Marvel. But we'll see. Anyways, guys, y'all take care.